Quality Assured Films does not condone the misuse of internet reviews. The opinions of Michael and John should be taken lightly prior to the viewing of the said movie. We realize no one is perfect and only ask that logic be at least considered. Nothing more.
Quality Assured Films.
Welcome to Quality Assured Films. I'm John.
I'm Mike.
We're continuing on with our approved films of 2014.
Best of 2014.
I'm gonna tell you a story. At first, it's gonna sound ridiculous. But the longer I talk,
We have to find the keys.
the more rational it's going to appear. For me, it's been an eternity.
Edge of Tomorrow, or as they've changed it now, it's now like...
Live, Die, Repeat or
Yeah,
something.
Live,
Or it
Die-
might even be Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat.
Like the movie, was it based on like a Japanese
Yeah, it was based
novel?
on a novel, and it was called All You Need Is Kill.
Which is an amazing title.
And that was the original name of the movie until they decided maybe we can't market this. And so they decided to market it even less with an even less marketable name.
Edge of Tomorrow.
So generic.
Yeah, that's...
Does not explain the movie whatsoever.
No.
Did not give it an edge, if you will.
How many times have we been here? How many times?
This movie was a complete surprise for me. The trailers looked awesome, which is what led us to see it.
Right, exactly.
I did not expect it to be probably one of my favorite sci-fi films of all time. It's not a spoiler to say that there is time travel involved in some way. It's essentially Groundhog Day meets Starship Troopers. That might sound like a movie you don't want to see, but I assure you, give it a chance and you will be rewarded.
If I die within 5 minutes of landing on that beach, we lose everything.
Quality approved.
Moving on.
Captain America, The Winter Vortex.
Coming up on the drop zone, Cap.
You do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys in my barbershop quartet are dead, so... No, not really.
Marvel's tried to start branching out and doing other genres of movies within their universe to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was going for that kind of 70s spy thriller feel. And there's Robert Redford in it, actually. There's a classic 70s spy thriller with him in it. Day of the Condor, or it's something along those lines. So I was excited because I really like that movie as well. That 70s paranoia, constantly looking over your shoulder, not sure who you can trust, secret handoffs, wiretaps, and code names. I'm really into that stuff.
I joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain.
To build a better world sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
I liked the first Captain America, which was done by the guy that did The Rocketeer, Joe Johnston, I think. This was done by the Russo brothers. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to, take Cap into the modern age. They did not miss a beat. This is like the most wet blanket character that you have, and they really made him compelling. So definitely recommend Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Was he wearing a parachute?
No. No, he wasn't.
Quality approved.
Coming up on the list, Gone Girl. Gone Girl!
Did you kill your wife, Nick?
The hallmark of a sociopath is a lack of empathy.
Amy lost a lot of blood in there. Then somebody mopped it up.
Why do they mop up the blood if they're trying to stage a crime scene?
Whatever they found, I think it's safe to assume that it's very bad.
I'd finally realized I am frightened of my own husband.
This is another one where there's a twist, which we're not going to give away because, you want to enjoy the film. And it's a story about a husband and wife? Boyfriend, girlfriend, who cares? Pretty much, wife goes missing. Uh-oh, did Ben Affleck kill her? That's all I'm saying.
As you all know, my wife, Amy Elliott Dunn, disappeared 3 days ago. I had nothing to do with the disappearance of my wife. I have nothing to hide.
David Fincher. I think David Fincher started out making music videos. I could be wrong. Much like I was saying about Wes Anderson, I feel David Fincher really gets that atmosphere. There's a hue and a tone.
Yeah.
And gets its claws into you.
This movie based again on a book, which a lot of great stuff seems to be based on a book, which I can't hate on that. You know, a lot of people are like, come on, man, Hollywood, come up with your own ideas. I get that. But if you have a phenomenal book, make it into a film, and it works. And this one worked quite a lot.
How was your marriage, Nick?
Are you asking me if I killed my wife? What about my son? Nick!
This man may kill me. In her own words, this man may truly kill me.
You ever hear the expression, simplest answer is often the correct one?
Actually, I've never found that to be true.
Quality approved.
Best of 2014.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna give it something socially responsible to do.
Can't we just let it go?
This thing needs to learn how to adapt, Murph. Gang, let's mask up. Like the rest of us.
Interstellar.
I'm almost speechless of how to describe this movie. I don't want to give it away. I would say it's right up there in my top space movies of all time. I love Chris Nolan. I wouldn't say it's his best film, but really daring ideas, the practical effects up to a certain extent. And if you see it, you'll understand why I hesitate to say a certain extent. Even though there are some fantastical elements, I won't give anything away, but it seemed like they tried to make it as plausible as they could. That really impressed me, and I always really appreciate that attention to detail.
This world's a treasure. It's been telling us to leave for a while now.
Your daughter's generation will be the last to survive on Earth.
This movie kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I think this was 3 hours.
It was close to it.
I think you'll all remember my critiques of X-Men Days of Future Past, which had a sleep-inducing second act and was about 3 hours long.
And I do have to say, I'm going to give it to Christopher Nolan because he actually managed to make Anne Hathaway not annoying in a movie.
John has a long-standing feud with Anne Hathaway.
Get out there and save the world.
Everybody ready to say goodbye to our solar system? To our galaxy. Here we go.
Quality approved.
I'm not gonna make it!
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Coming up on the list, another approved film, Wolf of Wall Street.
My name is Jordan Belfort. The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was $3 shy of $1 million a week.
Martin Scorsese does it again, again, lengthy film, but enjoyable. Leonardo DiCaprio, you can never go wrong with Leo. Come on, buddy.
And you know, there was a point in my life, probably all of our lives of our age group, where Leo was the little teen heartthrob that all the girls in our class loved, and
we didn't like him because of that.
But I have to say, in my later years, I like the guy.
We're making a name for ourselves. Was all this legal? Absolutely not. We were making more money than we knew what to do with.
Another surprising actor in this, Jonah Hill. When I first heard he was going to be in it, I was like, okay, how's this going to work? Because, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street's kind of a comedy, but Jonah Hill in a Martin Scorsese film?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the problems I actually had with it. I felt like it couldn't decide what kind of movie it wanted to be. It wanted to have slapstick humor. It wanted to have gross-out comedy. It wanted to have the kind of aggrandizement of this, the rich and famous lifestyle. But then it also wanted to have a really satirical, kind of smart, dark tone to it.
Yeah.
But then it wanted to have, like, gravitas and be a really dramatic biopic of this guy.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Martin Scorsese, man, why you gotta make such good films?
FBI, any kind of booze you might want? No, the Bureau forbids us from drinking. Duh.
Quality approved.
So follow me, you could about to go.
Come on. Up next, a huge film starring none other than Heisenberg.
Oh, they billed it so wrong. I mean, it was a good ploy. They got us in there.
I want to talk to somebody in charge. You are not fooling anybody when you say that what happened was a natural disaster. You're lying. It was not an earthquake. It wasn't a typhoon. Godzilla!
This was a movie, I'm probably saying this a lot, but a lot of these movies on the approved list, I really had a good time going to the movies. I got that experience where you felt like the audience was involved and everybody was hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw the reruns of the old Godzilla movies growing up on TV, and so I have this long-standing, much like another movie I love, Speed Racer. I had this nostalgia for Godzilla, and I think it goes without saying that the Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie.
Yeah, let's just agree. There is no Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie.
In 1954, we awakened something. God help us all.
A lot of these movies that have been coming out in 2014, like, they're really testing the audience. And this was another lengthy film, but in this case, at least, it's worth it. By the time the credits are rolling, you're like, what? It's been 2 hours and 46 minutes? What the hell?
Right. I left that theater pumped up. That feeling kind of negated any of the gripes that I had with it. That might be my best fight scene of 2014 was in that movie.
Check it out, people.
You have no idea what's coming.
Can you kill it?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control. And not the other way around.
Quality approved.
Next on the approved list, wow, there's a lot of freaking approved films.
This chaos. 1,000 people in an iron box. 18 years I've hated a train. 18 years I've waited for this moment.
Snowpiercer's next on our approved list.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was the same director as The Host.
Yeah, I think so.
When this movie was coming out, the studio wanted to cut it heavily because they didn't think that American audiences would embrace some of the more philosophical ideas in the movie. And so they wanted to cut it down into a dumb action movie, and he really fought against that, and the cast supported him. I think even Chris Evans ended up campaigning for the director to be able to release his cut in theaters. I have to say that it must have been better for it, because this is another movie that really had people talking. We ended up having a good conversation after we had watched it about some of the ideas that were going on in the background that weren't necessarily over-explained. And I appreciated that about this movie.
This is the world. The train saved humanity. The engine lasts forever. The population must always be kept in balance.
I said sit down!
We should talk about the end, but obviously without spoiling it.
I don't think that it paid off in the way that it could have, but that may be because there was something that I missed. And I actually have become okay with that as time has gone on. This might warrant a second watch after you've seen the ending. 2 movies with Chris Evans this year.
2014 was the year of Chris's. Chris Pratt and
Chris Evans. That's true.
So check it out, man. Snowpiercer.
It was Christmas.
Those bastards in the front think they own us.
We'll be different when we get there.
What you say?
We take the engine. And we control the world.
When is the time?
Soon.
Quality approved.
Best of 2014.
60 years ago, Earth was attacked. We won the war, but they destroyed half the planet. Everyone's been evacuated. Nothing human remains.
Our final approved film, Oblivion.
Yes. 2 Tom Cruise movies this year.
What are the odds?
Fuck you, Sally.
I can't say that I deny this movie, because this is our approved list.
True.
But it's mainly approved for, A, the soundtrack, which was done by one of our favorite bands, M83.
Yes.
Also the visuals. This was another movie based on a graphic novel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it has some really amazing industrial design, from the glider ship to his motorcycle. The landscapes were really great. I'd say probably the first half got pretty involved in finding out the history, and then they try to pull the rug out from under you, but it doesn't quite work.
No.
That sours the movie a little bit for me.
This is Jack Harper.
I'm good to go.
2 more weeks, Jack, and we can finally leave.
We're here for drone repair with a mop-up crew.
For those of you who have not seen this, this is a film where pretty much it's the future. Earth is now barren. You know, all humans have left, and Tom Cruise and his chick are pretty much stationed there. I forget what they're doing. They're like collecting shit, or
they're repairing. I guess there's still remnants of the enemy army on Earth who are sabotaging the cleanup effort from the war, and so it's his job to go around and fix the materials that they need to finish up the last of their efforts, and then he's promised a trip to the mothership.
This is Jack Harper.
I'm good to go.
2 more weeks, Jack, and we can finally leave and join the others. Don't take any chances.
Between the visuals, the music, again, M83, awesome, doing the score, all around, very good film.
Yeah, I had a lot of nitpicks that I don't necessarily remember right now, but I would still say it's worth a watch for the visuals and the soundtrack.
Agreed.
Stand down!
They won't stop till they find me.
If you're looking for the truth, that's where you'll find it.
You need to know what happened.
Why aren't you telling me? Who are you?
Quality approved.
Well, there you have it.
Those were our approved films of 2014.
Best of 2014.
Stay tuned as we go through some of 2014's most horrible films in our denied list.
Films that stole time we'll never get back.
Remember to like and subscribe. As always, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And this is Quality Assured Films.